Good morning, everybody. I'm back from my fourth hiatus since I've started this 1 week of practice, and we have made it to day 7 finally after 12 days. I sincerely apologize for that. I'm very bad at keeping myself on a schedule, and I've done about everything I could to make that schedule as hard to follow as possible. But we have made it to day 7 finally. And unfortunately, we'll still be doing scales because I don't have anything else to do. So, if y'all made it this far, thank y'all. I think another bit I like kind of doing is checking my YouTube analytics. So, it's been going up just like I thought it would. Y'all might have saw it, I recently hit 40 subscribers. That's cool. I'm sitting at 359 views, and actually, practice session 4 seems to be my most viewed video of the series. So, that's cool. With 63 views, I should say. That's pretty good. So, thank y'all for joining me. This has been a lovely week and a half of a week. And yeah, I've had some ups, I've had some downs. I didn't post the actual day 7 because I got way too personal when I recorded that video. So I decided not to post it. I did practice, but I didn't post it. I think I practiced, oh my goodness. I think I practiced the major pentatonic and the whole tone scale. I'll warm up on those for y'all, but I'm not going to practice them like I would in a normal video, just because I got them up to speed already. Mostly I might do the whole tone scale some more, but as for the other one, I don't have to worry about it. So today we'll be focusing mainly on the triads and maybe some 7 chords, though the triads are probably going to take up plenty of time on their own. So, yeah, that's what we'll do today. Short and sweet intro. Nothing really new started. This week is 1 month since I started my job. Pretty cool. Also, notably, Saturday is July the 4th. If somehow I have a European viewer, which I highly doubt. I think that was an ant. Oh no. I hope I'm not in an ant pile. That would really suck. Anyway, if I have any European viewers, which I highly doubt I do, for 40 subscribers, July the 4th, Independence Day, is this Saturday, and I'm off on Saturday, and so I get to celebrate the 4th of July with my family. I will probably take that day off, but if I don't, I will do a short video for that. So stick around. Hopefully I get to actually do a video for that. With the amount of mulligans I've taken, I probably should do something for that. I'm not going to play the national anthem or something like that. I've already learned it on 3 different keys on 3 different instruments. I don't want to play that any more than I have to. Not because I'm not patriotic or anything, but you play a piece enough times, you'll get sick of it, even if it is your national anthem. So, yeah. So, if you want a video of me playing the national anthem, I actually did post one. At this point, 2 years ago, I went to my I am standing on the ants. Crap. I went to my old elementary school, and they let me play the national anthem for their Veterans Day ceremony. So I do actually have a video of that, if y'all would like to see it. I'm going to move a little bit, see if I can avoid the ants, if nothing else. There's a little dirt patch right here. It doesn't look like it's crawling with much of anything, really. So that might be better. Yeah, there we go. And that's more even ground. Y'all were a bit crooked a second ago. Oh, goodness. I was trying to get out the sun, though. Yeah. How about there? That's more like it. So, yeah, I have a video of me playing it. I wasn't nearly as good then as I am now, but it's still a good video in my opinion. I think I did a pretty good job with it. I didn't mess up as far as I'm aware. So yeah, that's That's a video I have. I'm tilting my screen up at the moment because I didn't have anywhere to put my iPad case, and it's hanging on the back of my stand instead of being on the ground. Last time I put it on the ground, it got covered in sand. I think it still has sand in it. So I've set it on my stand, but now I can't tilt my stand forward, so y'all are gonna have a more from the ground perspective of me than normal. The sun's still not really that high in the sky. It's 9 o'clock right now. Later than I usually try to do these videos, but I got a little tied up. So, yeah. Nothing really new. Just typical me things. I got my oil changed. And when I got the oil changed, I learned all of the things I actually need to do to my car. Because it's an older car, older. It's a 2015 Chevy Equinox. I've probably talked about it before, but it's kind of in that stage now where everything needs to be fixed at the moment. I need to change the coolant. I need to change both my filters. I guess it's two things. I need to change my windshield wipers. And then on top of that, I've told you about this before, my bumper fell off. So I have to replace that. And I've heard that you can use zip ties, but I don't have anywhere to hook the zip ties to. So I have to replace it. And then I have to replace my fender liners because those are all torn up. So I'm in a pickle at the moment with my car, but nothing I can't handle. I have, now that I'm earning $400 a week through Winn-Dixie, I can get those repairs done quickly. For the filters and the windshield wipers and whatever the other thing I set the coolant, I might not be able to do the coolant, but I can do the filters and the windshield wipers myself. Coolant I'll probably have repaired by a professional. Actually, I'll probably just go to the same place I got my oil changed. And then depending on how difficult it'll be to change my bumper and my fender liners, I'll either do those myself or have either my dad or a professional take care of those. I'm going to purchase all the parts myself. I've done decent amount of research. I think one thing I am going to do before I check out all the items, I have a mechanic friend in college, plays the oboe of all things, but his name is Wayne. He's chill. And he has been doing mechanics for I don't know how long, but a decent amount of time. So he knows enough about cars to help me out. He helped me when my backlight broke and then my front light broke and some other stuff. He's good about all that. He didn't help me repair them, but that's because it would have cost him, or it would have cost me, because he has to charge when he helps. Because he's part of the business, but he did help. He did give me some pointers, and that was nice. So I'll probably text him about that and just see what he has to say, and then I'll go ahead with the repairs. So yeah, I'm going to do windshield wipers and the filters probably this week, and then we'll go do the bumper and the fender liner on the same week as the coolant. That way I can kind of just have it all in a couple weeks. And from there, don't know. My car will be right as rain, I guess. I don't know. I feel like there was something else I had to do, and I cannot remember what it was, but at least my oil changed now. It's no longer sitting at 9%. It's at a flawless 100% right now. It might be at 99. I don't remember. But I had to drive all the way to Palatka from here in order to get my oil changed because it was the closest one, but it was still 20 miles away. Not a big problem, just kind of inconvenient. So I had myself some Zaxby's after that. It was delicious as usual. Though notably the one in Palatka is just slightly more expensive than the one in DeLand. So usually a meal that costs me, I think it's $12.30 in DeLand, cost me, or $13 even in Palatka. No problem. I mean, it is what it is. It's 70 cents more for a meal that's still going to fill me up and taste good while it's at it. So, I mean, and Zaxby's has never been cheap. So, I mean, as far as I'm aware, I'm a young head, so. But anyway, that's all the stuff for today. Like I said earlier, F series, major triad, minor triad, diminished triad, augmented triad, and then if I do arpeggios, I might not do the major one yet. I might skip to full diminished or half diminished or one of them. I'll do one of them. I don't think I'll do all of them. If I end up doing all of them, that's cool. So I'm going to give it an hour. We'll see what happens. If I'm still working on triads, we'll just finish out the triads. If I finish the triads before an hour, I'll work on... I'll do some more whole... Actually, I'll do triads first. If I have time, I'll go back to do whole tones because I didn't quite get what I wanted out of that. And then I'll move on if I still have more time. I doubt I will, but there's always a chance. So, my phone currently sitting on 16% battery life, so there's a chance it dies right in the middle of recording of this video. If it does, we'll just wing it. It'll be alright. Let's try to start at 92. See how that goes. F major, arpeggio, then minor, then diminished, then augmented, and then whatever I decide to do after it. Alright. Cool. It's good work. And the wise words of, I want to say it was the dude who created the Casper slide. I don't remember his name. Let's go to work. So, okay. In the dirt to avoid y'all. Quit climbing up my legs. Ants. That's good enough. It's a fun little trick there. I can play the same note using multiple fingerings. It happens for a lot of notes, but that high F, the one that I can play using two different fingerings. So I can do, this is called, I think it's called front F, is what people usually call it. It might be called fork F, but it's this. I can also push down all of this button in the octave key, and get the same note. We would do this for tonality and for runs. We would do this for arpeggios. That's how it usually works. Same works for E. Has a different fingering, but same idea. After E, you just use the palm keys. Above F, there are altissimo fingerings. I'm not going to go over those because that takes a long time. I have to be standing like in an ant pile somewhere. They just keep crawling up my legs and biting me. It might just be flies, but honestly, I see ants up my legs too. I got ants in my pants, I swear. Alright. That's better. Yeah. If you think these little things I do in my videos are stupid, the reason I do them is because they work. And you might have noticed, they do actually help more than they hinder. They are really annoying to do, but once you do them a few times, they get less annoying. So, yeah. Lots of ants. This one will be the easiest one from here, so. Actually, augmented might be the easiest one in this case. Is it an ant or a hare? It looks like a hare. Cool. Up to 108. No. There we go. That's better. All right. Look how fast we're going. That's 5 minutes, and I've already almost to my goal tempo on this first exercise. Look at that. See, some of these are good to breeze through. That's why they're grouped together as they are. They're also grouped together like they are because they're all pretty much the same. But it's kind of nice having easy ones and hard ones. Like, you can always just work on the hard ones or go straight through like I do. So that's what makes scales unique. There are hard ones and there are easy ones, and you should really practice the hard ones more, but you could practice them all equally and get pretty much the same result. Just there to make runs easier in the long run. Sometimes I have to make sure I can play things quietly because if I think about something else and I do it wrong, that means I'm not fully prepared. Don't you sting me, butthead. There's a wasp that like flew really close to my ankle and flew away. I thought it was about to sting me. Video would have been cut very short if that were the case, because I'm not dealing with that. I've already got ants crawling up my legs. I don't need wasps too. Alright, perfect. Who's that? No idea. There's a red truck pulling into the yard. Alright, 120, baby. Max speed that we need to go. There we go. Alright. Minor. Back 92. If it seems like I start at only 2 different tempos, that's pretty much because I do only start at 2 different tempos. 80's nice because it feels slower than it actually is, but it's slow enough when you need it to be slow. And the 92 is faster than it sounds, but it is still, it's good for something that you already know or something that you know is going to be easy. It still makes you challenge because it's like, depending on what you're doing, like if you're sight reading at 92, it's a lot more difficult to sight read at 92 than it would be at 80. But if it's a piece you can look at and know it's going to be easy, then 92 is the way to go because you don't want it to be too easy. So, yeah, I don't know who that was. It's okay. I'm sure they'll come say hi. That's why you need to know your arpeggios, ladies and gentlemen. You could be playing Michael Jackson right now, but you don't know your arpeggios. Shame. I know how to play that on 2 different saxophones. Really 4, but I only play it on 2 because it's weird to play it on soprano sax. I thought it was a bug. It's a piece of grass. Okay, there we go. All right, 100. Back of my neck is itchy because it's hot, it's humid, and my neck strap is old. So I've had this neck strap since at least 10th grade. I tend to lose mine, so I get the same one over and over again. Just because after a while I forget that this is not the first one I've had. But I've had the exact same neck strap since I think my 9th grade year of high school. Then I lost one, I think also during my 9th grade year, and I lost one again in my junior year. So this is actually probably not that old of a neck strap. Oh no. Am I tripping? Did I just feel rain? It's not even gray out right now. It's beautiful, but it's not gray. Huh. Not rain. I think I'm tripping. That was a fly. Good. 104. Whoa. Alright, 108. Flying through this one too, but not quite as quickly because it's harder. Yeah, only 13 minutes of practice so far. We're almost halfway. That's cool. Ah, ant on my hand. How'd you get all the way up there? Oh, it probably crawled on me when I touched the phone. Why is it on my hand? Oh, can't play the saxophone like me, ant, butthead. Okay. You know, my problem might be that I just can't hear the metronome. Let's turn it up a little higher. There we go. 112. That pinky gets in my way, and the whole rest of my hand messes up. You know, it'd be nice if I could speak English too. Yeah. Moving on. 116. There we go. Beautiful. 120. That'll work. I guess short little story time, because that's what y'all expect of me now, I'm sure. I actually got acquainted with Maddie today. She started a whole business where she just started barking and then running at me little by little. So finally, I set up my stand, because that's what I had in my hand at the time. I just set it on the ground, and I just started calling her to me. I went, Maddie, come here. And she didn't move. But eventually she just sat down and started scratching herself. So I took that time to slowly walk toward her, just in case she still thought I was a threat. And slowly. And then I started calling her to me. She approached me a little bit more. She got almost right up to me, and then she stopped growling and just kind of looked at me, and then I pet her a little bit, and then she came real up close, and she started loving on me from that point on. So now Maddie knows me. She knows I'm friendly. We're chilling now. Yeah, she's very sweet. She's actually very nice. That barking you might have heard in that other video might not have suggested that. She's actually a very nice dog. Yeah. Guess it's a good lesson on first impressions, but it's a dog. What do you expect? Yeah, that was fun. Got acquainted with a dog. Always fun to meet new dogs, personally. Yeah. Also, at my job, my stocking job, I found out today that I had 29 hours before I even clocked in. I work part-time, and part-time, at least in the state of Florida, I don't know if this is a federal law or a state law, or even just a law, but a part-time job in the state of Florida is less than 40 hours. And there are 2 days left of this week, both of which have 8-hour shifts. I just completed the first of 2. And then I have another day tomorrow, so I'm curious to see how that works. Because I completed my shift today, I'll have almost 37 hours. Really more like 36, but almost 37 hours worth of work. Meaning that I don't even have to come in tomorrow and still have a full week's worth of pay. Now, I don't want to not come in tomorrow because, well, for one, tomorrow is a truck day and they need all the help they can get on truck days. But also because it throws me off a little bit every time I don't go to work. I feel weird when I go back. So, And also because, I mean, it's nice to have that little extra cash on hand. So I'm waiting to see if I either get to go and then earn extra money or not go and take a nice break. If they make me go for no pay, I'm just not going. Of course, like I'm not gonna work for no pay. That's just not gonna work. But I'd rather me go and get extra pay than take the break, because I've only worked 4 days in my week, whereas it looks like I've worked 5. And that's because my manager kept holding me late because we could never get to clean up on time. So, like before today, of course, the last time I got off work, I got off at 6:45, which is 45 minutes after my shift ends. The doors of Winn-Dixie were almost open by the time I got out of work. In fact, I watched customers walk in the store as I pulled out. So, like, that's kind of what we're dealing with. I'm not calling him a bad manager necessarily, because at least I get those extra hours. But he's kind of up in the clouds a little bit. I'm not going to go into details, but everybody I work with is in some way a crackhead. So, not actual crackhead, but in some way they are. Sometimes they just are a crackhead, but most of the people I work with are in some way or another a crackhead. It's not all of them. A couple of them are pretty normal people, but for the most part, it's crackheads. Crackheads all the way down. We got a new boss. I haven't actually met him yet. I know what he looks like. I know who he is, but I haven't actually met him. We haven't talked. He doesn't know me yet. I just happen to recognize him because, I mean, he looks important. So, yeah. He's changing a few of the systems around. They started off by making my job easier, and now my job is almost more difficult on some days. Like, it's easier on the days where I need to be fast, but it's harder on the days where I don't have to be as fast. Which is strange, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm only going to be working this job till early August anyway, so, I mean, as long as I get paid, I don't really care. But, you know, the people that work there for a long time do care. So a lot of the people that work there currently for the night shift have been working there months, if not years. So I'm a really new hire compared to a lot of them. I'm not saying they work there for like 20 years. I don't think any of them have, but most of them have been there right around a year or more. So it is what it is. They still think I'm new, kind of. They still kind of treat me like I'm new, so I wouldn't normally like that, but I'm going to ride this wave as long as possible so that I don't get fired. Yeah. So I guess back to the grind. So yeah, that's how my job is going currently. I'm about to get overtime if all goes well. And I think, technically speaking, overtime is 1.5 times my normal pay. That might have been a different job, but I think that's what I actually get. I don't think they're actually going to give me that because they don't like overtime. I think they're just going to give me my normal pay, but 4 hours of normal pay is actually pretty good if you ask me. So, and it's really going to be 6 because the pay period doesn't end until Thursday night, and I actually go to work on Thursday night, meaning that I still get those 2 hours as part of my pay period. They don't count as the next day. They count as Thursday. So, it is what it is. That's what I'm going to go with. We're going to start practicing again. Diminished arpeggio. This one should be more difficult. Namely, I'd tell you why, real quick. You remember that little thing we were doing earlier? The little... Well, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. It's this note now. That's why. It sucks. So there's usually a note there to bridge that, but it's a lot harder without it. Actually, I'm going to take this one slower just because I want to learn how to do it first. Actually, even slower. This is my secret third speed. 60. Alright, moving up. Still the same process as before, up by 4s. So this is going to take a while. I might not go all the way to 120. I might because I have so much time. I've only been like 20 minutes now. We're going to say 25. So, but this one's going to take me a lot longer. So I might stop at 108 or just 100 even and then do it later. As it stands, I'll probably have more time with the 7 chords and the chromatic scale. So I can go over it then as well. Start at 100 and work my way up to 120, or 92 and work up my way to 120. That's probably what I'll do, actually. I'll probably forget, but either way. Alright, moving on. 68. got what's wrong, usually. I'm starving right now. Also, a fun little design detail that they did on the saxophone is that every single one of these keys right here opens the G sharp key. So I could play any button there and it'll open the G sharp. It'll sound different, but it'll open it up no matter what. So like that. I don't know why they decided to do that, but it does make things a little easier because now I can hold my pinky there and play that last note. Now, that one I don't really have to do it as much, but on something like, or you just hold it there the whole time. Like that. That's very convenient. We're not going to get there a long time. That's actually, that's less serious than I thought. That's a 4 series away. 4. That's the D flat series. No, D flat series is way out there. No, that series is the last one we're gonna do. It's called. No, it's the. I'm sorry. It's the third to last one we're gonna do. It is. It'll be series number 10 out of 12. So, we're on series 2, by the way. So that's going to be a long time. Like, we have to do G, then B flat, then D, then, the next one is, sorry. Yeah, no, I was right. G, then B flat, then, D, then E flat, then A, then, E, no, sorry, A flat, then E, and then D flat. Some people like to call it the C sharp series. My professor included in that. And the only reason I'm not going to do that is because it's more common to see 5 flats rather than 7 sharps. I'll explain that real quick because some of y'all might not have a clue what I'm talking about. So, sharps and flats are the easiest place to start. Sharps and flats. Sharps raise the note, flats lowers the note. So if I have C sharp, no, I'm going to do some different note. G sharp, or G, then G sharp goes up, G again, and then G flat is down. And that's the going up and the going down. So you can flat and you can sharp any note. Which means that one note's flat is another note's sharp. So we'll use G flat as my example because I like it more than G sharp. G flat is also known as F sharp because if you go above F, you get to F sharp. So F sharp, G flat, same note, but they write them differently for different things. So typically, the first most common example is if you're doing what's called a chromatic run, which is just where you're playing every note in a chromatic scale. If you're going up, you use sharps, so F, F sharp, G, G sharp, etc. If you're going down, you use flats. So starting on A flat, G, G flat, F, like that. So if I say I'm going to play the D flat major scale, that's also the same as me saying I'm going to play the C sharp major scale. So D flat, this is D, D flat, or C sharp. This is C. That's what we just did. Then C sharp. So same scale. But another reason we notate them differently is because in the key of D flat, there are 5 flats. D flat is the first note, and in order, the flats are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. I'll talk about those last 2 in a minute, but for now, you gotta worry about the first 5. So the scale is D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. And the reason you do that is because each of those notes occupies its own space on the staff. So let's say I decided I didn't like G flat, I said that a minute ago, and I wanted to notate that as an F sharp. Well, now you would have an F and an F sharp, and you would need an accidental for it, rather than just having it on the G line and be covered when you play in G flat major, or in D flat major. So the reason we have both, it's for lots of music theory reasons, but the main reason is for notation's sake. If you're doing a piece that has a lot of flats and you're just by yourself as a saxophonist, you'll probably see 5 flats. But if you see a bunch of sharps, that usually means that everyone else has a lot less sharps. That's a transpositional thing. But mainly, sharps are when you're with a band, and flats are when you're by yourself. So it's easier to read flats generally than it is to read more sharps. You'll be trained on sharps, so you'll probably disagree with me on that. Most saxophonists would rather read sharps than flats. I know I would, which is why I'm calling it a D flat scale, so I can train myself a little better. But so the reason we don't want to use that 7 sharp scale, the C sharp, rather than the D flat, is because of those 2 other notes I mentioned. It's the order of flats is reversed from the order of sharps. So the order of sharps is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. Those last 2 don't exist. Let me explain. So we'll do, I think it was E sharp first. So if you start on E and you go up a half step, you get E sharp. There's just one problem with that. That's already a natural note. That's called F. So you wouldn't just see a random E sharp in your music for no reason, but you would see an E sharp in the key of C sharp. The reason we would write something like that, which some people consider useless but has kind of a use, is for the same reason we do sharps up and flats down. It's because it's for notation's sake. When you do a major scale, instead of saying C sharp, D sharp, F, F sharp, blah, 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 you would do C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F, blah, 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 F sharp. So, yeah, that's really the biggest reason. Once you go past the C sharp major, you get double sharps, or same way the other way, double flats. I'm not going to explain those right this second. Those have about the same usefulness and reasoning behind the E sharp and C flat of notes. They're just there to make writing a little bit easier. They're really not for the player's benefit, they're more so for the writer's benefit. But it's good to know what that means when you see it. Um, it's also when you, like, more for writing's sake, it's also when you want to do, like, when you want to notate what's called a leading tone. In the key of C sharp, the leading tone would be B sharp. You can't notate it as a C, though, because it is the leading tone, and B sharp is going to go up. So if it were just a regular C scale, that would be a B going to a C. So it only makes sense for it to be a B sharp going to a C sharp. That's kind of the only reason we do that, but it is still interesting nonetheless. Yeah. I don't mind seeing them on my page. I know a lot of musicians, even college level, that just hate them, but I don't actually mind seeing them that much. Yeah. So, what's that, man? Huh? Someone's riding around a go-kart. So that's the main reason we have that. I'm gonna call it the D flat major or major series when we get there, or D flat series. But if I ever refer to it as C sharp for some reason, that's why. It's called, the word we use is called an enharmonic. So, yeah. So that's the big reason. I'm gonna go back to practicing now. We're getting kind of close to an hour. It'll probably be more like an hour and 15, but still. I just wanted to give that little music theory explanation. If you're curious what a double flat or a double sharp is, I'll go ahead and do that too. If a single sharp or just a sharp is 1/2 step up, then a double sharp is 2. That's all that means. So if you have a G double sharp, you get what sounds like an A. So you would do that for the same reason you would do like a weird sharp or a weird flat note, for notation reasons. If you were playing in the key of G sharp, which you would never see in a major key, but you would see in a minor key, that note would not be a G natural, the leading tone, it would be an F double sharp. That's the only reason you would do it. Same goes for flats. I just like talking about sharps because they're easier. But that's the only reason you would see something like that. It's just so we could read it. That's it. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So I'll get back to practicing now. It's my little music theory spiel over. I could go into more detail on both of those, but I won't, because first off, y'all need like music theory professors to teach you that. I'm just a college kid. I'm learning how to be a teacher, but that's not really the point. I haven't learned it yet. So, yeah, I'm gonna go back to practicing now. We were doing diminished, so yeah. There we go. Moving on, so I want other things to do today. I guess there's people up now, so it is 9:45 now. Yeah. So, actually, that's a good place to cut off. I'm going to cut off right at 10 o'clock. That way I can go to sleep. So, that's what we'll do. I really should have gone to bed an hour ago, but it is what it is. So. my phone battery at? It told me 10%. Yeah, it's still at 10% a minute ago. 10%. That's what we're at. I'm surprised it hadn't died yet. I thought it would. My phone battery either lasts a really long time or lasts for about 4 hours. It really depends on what I'm doing. Apparently, my metronome does not drain battery, which is nice. So I need it for long amounts of time. You might have noticed I don't always breathe in between reps, and that's because my lungs are already so big compared to the average person that I actually don't have to breathe at all. I can do like 3 or 4 reps without breathing. So if you catch me not breathing between sets, more than likely I'm actually just swallowing, because that also is something I have to do. I produce an ungodly amount of spit. I do not know why. It sucks. I know it's kind of TMI, but be prepared as a saxophonist, because there's not in there. But you will get so much spit in your instrument that you will probably want to soak it in bleach. So at least, it's recommended that you take your sax into a shop every year. And that's to give it a nice good cleaning. Something you can do by yourself at home though. You can buy a swab off of Amazon, stick it in the bell, you pull it through the top. That's all you gotta do. You take the neck off, of course, but you pull it through the top, get all the spit out. It'll last a lot longer that way. I don't have a swab, so I'm kind of short of swab at the moment. I will get one eventually, and show y'all to swab an instrument. It's really simple. It'll take 5-second stops, but yeah. So yeah, fun. Oh, that's 80, by the way. That was that's where we started most of there. We started the other ones at 92, so we got a ways to go at least. Oh, butterfly. Might have been a moth. I really didn't see it. It was really fast. Y'all saw it. Streamline the video and pause. Good luck. Oh, that was a good one. I like that. Moving on. 88. All 3 of those were fine. I'm going to move on. 92. This is where we started the rest of them. Yeah. So we're technically only about halfway there, but I don't think I'm going to go all the way, especially because I still got to do augmented. I have time, but honestly, I just don't even want to play this one anymore. So that little spiel I gave about move on after 20 minutes, that's partially because I've been working on my mild anger issues for a long time. I'm very easily frustratable. I have been working on that for as long as I can remember, but it is a long, long road and a long journey at that. So, it's hard. I do things often that would bring me stress, but I've learned so many ways to deal with it at this point that I honestly don't even feel it anymore. Like, someone could walk up to me and be like, "Are you okay? You're not stressed? Are you tired?" be like, nah, man, I'm chilling. And, like, I've learned a few tricks. That 20 minutes thing is one of the tricks I use. Like, some examples, I'm a big video gamer. Y'all probably figured it out, but if I die, I quit. Depending on the game, I'll either do just one death or I'll give it a few. Like, obviously, I'm not going to die once and, like, I don't have Call of Duty, but if I did, I wouldn't just die once in Call of Duty and call it a day. That's, like, maybe 10 minutes of gameplay. No. But, like, if I'm in a Zelda game or a Final Fantasy game and I die, unless I was, pretty close to a save point, I'll probably just stop for the day, because there's no point in me trying to retread all that ground. Recently, the best example I can give, actually, is I just finished Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. And while that was probably a fantastic RPG at the time, it was fantastic right up until Final Fantasy V was released, or 6. I don't remember which one came afterward. That is such a crappy RPG, I'm not going to lie. The characters are trash, the combat is slow, the music is okay. And I mean, it's got some pretty neat features in it. Like some spells do multi-target, some spells do single target, stuff like that. It's got neat concepts in it, but honestly, I found myself wanting to stab one of the main characters by the end of the game. That's how bad the characters were. I'm not going to spoil the game for you if you're curious. I will probably do a review of that game if I ever start doing game reviews, just to be like 100% fair. It wasn't like the worst game I've ever played. It's definitely not there. It's probably a 6 out of 10 for me. But I'm so used to stuff like Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger, or like really good RPGs like that, where something like Lufia, which is really kind of a mid-game at best, seems terrible to me. So I've kind of been spoiled, but it's a good thing. But at the same time, I hold all games to the same standard, roughly. That's just to be fun and have tight mechanics, and have a good story. So fun generally, but tight mechanics and a good story are kind of what I aim for. So I don't have a favorite game because I don't treat games that way. I can't have a favorite one. I have so many games that are incomparable, but also I enjoy them about the same. Like Zelda 2, I would never, ever compare to Final Fantasy VI, but both of them are about in the same place in my head. That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, Zelda 2 is probably in my top 10 games of all time, and so is Final Fantasy VI, but I would never compare the two and say that one is better than the other. I think Final Fantasy VI quality-wise is a better game, but I enjoy the mechanics in Zelda 2 so much that it doesn't even matter. So I'll get back to practicing now. I still got to. I'll come back to that one tomorrow. We're gonna do the augmented because it's gonna be easy and I only have 5 minutes left. So that's just how I feel about games. But that's how I deal with stress. Is I back away from it. I don't really face it head on. If I have to be in it head on, music, breathing. Yeah, it sounds silly, but literally you can just do some breathing exercises and it works a little bit at least. Focus on something other than the stress, like talking to a friend. If you're bad at making friends, I want to say get good in about the nicest way I possibly can, but there's really no nice way to say it, so just take that, I guess. See, that one's easy. The ending's kind of, but the rest of it's really easy. In the same way that there are 2 whole tone scales, there are 4 augmented arpeggios, 3 fully diminished 7 chords, and 1 chromatic scale. And that is because all of those notes are divided equally. There are 3 equal notes. Shut up. That worked. That was my dog. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Augmenteds they have 4 notes in between them. So there's 4 different scales. Fully diminished, 7s are 3 notes apart, so there's 3 different scales. Whole tones, they're 2 notes apart each. So there's 2 different scales, and then the chromatic scale is literally all of the notes, so you can only play one chromatic scale. You just start on different notes. We're just going to breeze through it. It's okay. This is one of those nice ones I can breeze through because I'm going to practice it later anyway. Oh, there we go. That was good. And finally, 120. I think my saxophone's just acting up right now. But thank y'all for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday morning. It is July now for all of you who were not aware like I was until 6 hours ago. Yeah, so I found out 4 hours into my day that it was July. So yeah, thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for the views. Thank y'all for the subscribers. 40, if y'all recall. Hopefully, I'm gonna do something at 50. Probably nothing saxophone related, and also probably nothing video game related. I actually want to do a recipe because I'm good at baking. I'm okay at it. I'm not like fantastic or anything, but I'm alright at baking. I want to do a recipe, something easy that we all can all do. The recipes will get higher in quality as the subscribers go up. I'm gonna do peanut butter cookies for my first recipe. For all of y'all who are allergic to peanut butter or peanuts, I am terribly sorry. You'll have to find something else to eat, or go to the store and get some Pillsbury Doughboy cookies or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I want to do at 50. So yeah, thank y'all. I'm packing it up now. Thank y'all for joining me. Y'all have a fantastic day.